annihilated my jellyfish. Yeah. Got him. Only took like 3 tries. Nice. Boomville acquired. I can now basically stomp face. I just need to equip that. And that, well, should allow me to equip it. No, not quite. I need a bit more. I need 1 more dex. Okay. So I should go level that up with this experience. Get my level. Because I will be using the Radagon's Star Seal if I use my sword. It would be useful to use the sword. I'll swap to that. But which is fine. I need 20 dexterity anyway. I think my softest cap for dexterity is 30, so I'm way under dexterity level right now.
I thank you. So what can I do?
Or so that I can go level it up. Probably shouldn't have done that. I was within me, but not said anything. So. unreciprocated is unresolved.
Brave. Well then. May the Golden Order... Further study... I can happily... May the Golden Order shine through you.
You've received the wisdom of the Two Fingers, have you not? Then I bid you welcome, as a true member of the Round Table. I am known as Gideon Ofnir. As a Tarnished who wishes to stand before the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord, I am accumulating knowledge. To be all-knowing. You now belong to a select group of fellows. As such, I ask that you remain constant. You'll be after more great runes now, eh? Then as your fellow, allow me to divulge a little knowledge. The inheritors of the great runes, the Shard Bearers. We of the Round Table know the location of 5 of them, including the one you defeated. Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. General Radahn, who fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds. Praetor Rykard, Lord of the volcano manor of Mount Gelmir. Morgoth, the Grace-Given, Veiled Monarch and Lord of Leyndell. And Renala, Queen of the Full Moon, ruler of Rhea Lucaria's academy. You'll still be after more great runes, won't you? I understand you've been speaking to Nefeli. She's my daughter. I took her in when she lost the guidance of grace. Though a mere axe-wielding barbarian, her youthful credulity suited my purposes. So I put her to work. Do not hesitate to employ her. Should her services benefit you? Despite her looks, she is more than capable in the press of battle. The Academy of Rhea Lucaria lies to Limgrave's north, towering over the mist-laden lands of Liurnia. Renala is queen of the Carian royals, who govern the Academy, but Renala herself is no demigod. Her beloved Radagon left her to become Queen Marika's second husband, taking the title of King Consort. The Great Rune dwells within the Amber Egg that was Radagon's gift to her. Morgoth the Grace-Given is Lord of Leyndell, the capital city. It lies at the foot of the Erd Tree, in the east of the Altus Plateau. But the Two Fingers forbid us from venturing there, until we've acquired enough great runes to repair the Elden Ring. Set your sights elsewhere for the time being. The Veiled Monarch can wait. Praetor Rykard is the Lord of the Volcano Manor on Mount Gelmir. He is a ruthless justiciar who commands a company of inquisitors, reviled for his serpentine demeanor. The volcano, Mount Gelmir, lies in the west of the Altus Plateau, the realm of the Erd Tree. It was the stage of the most appalling battle in the entirety of the Shattering. Rykard has committed the grave sin of blasphemy, marking himself as an enemy never to be forgiven. General Radahn, the famed Red Lion and Scourge of the Stars, is a ferocious warrior. He fought Melania and her rot to a standstill in the Caelid Wilds to Limgrave's east. And now Caelid has been engulfed by the Scarlet Rot. Even approaching the region is no mean feat. I've heard survivors of Radahn's army are still in the wilds, staving off the rot with fire. And if it's true, I suspect Radahn is still there as well, in Caelid. Though I doubt he much resembles his former self anymore. So, Godric the Grafted, Lord of Stormvale. Despite being the blood of Godfrey, first Elden Lord, he's a grotesque old fool grasping for power. His castle lies upon the cliff to Limgrave's northwest, but I suspect you know that well enough already.
Ah, we meet again after all. I apologize for any offense given by my bearing, but I'm quite unable to move, you see. So, what do you need? Ah, you defeated Godric and claimed yourself a great rune. Looks like we both got what we wanted out of Stormvale, didn't we? Well done, friend. Something to mark the occasion. Go on, take it. As you might have guessed, I still can't move. My fighting days are behind me. No need to be polite. I've no use for it anymore. Ah, so you've met Dee. Dee is an old friend. We found ourselves journeying together for a time, bound by our exploration of death. But our paths have since diverged, never again to cross. Though that's hardly an uncommon fate for two friends. The misshapen corpse on the Stormvale. That is a sacred relic of the Black Knives plot, as that famed night of assassination is known. It happened during the golden age of the Erd Tree, long before the shattering of the Elden Ring. Someone stole a fragment of the Rune of Death from Malekith, the Black Blade, and on a bitter night, murdered Godwyn the Golden. That was the first recorded death of a demigod in all history, and it became the catalyst. Soon, the Elden Ring was smashed, and thus sprang forth the war known as the Shattering. I once wished to become a scholar, you see. I've spent many an hour scouring the archives for knowledge of that fateful plot. The world has grown crooked, and if you intend to put it to rights, you'd better understand what happened to make it this way. And that thing is to blame for the shape I'm in now. I urge the utmost caution. Don't disturb the corpse more than necessary. Dee was telling me that he discovered the mark of the centipede. The centipede is an ancient symbol of the curse mark. As long as whoever finds and uses it is not nefarious by nature, then we may be able to form an alliance. If only I could speak to them in person. And if they were like you, all the better.
I am pleased to see you again. Would you like me to hold you once more? Now, come closer. You are so very warm. I was known as a deathbed companion. Where I come from, after I received the warmth and lively vigor from a number of champions, I lay with the remains of an exalted noble. To grant him another chance at life, to do so is the purpose of my being. But before I could bear the noble into new life, I was awakened by the guidance of grace and chased from my birthplace. Pray, be kind. Despite all that, I still wish to be a deathbed companion. So please, let me hold you like this, as often as it takes. My dear, have you ever heard of the Black Knife Prince? Dear Roger likes to talk of them while in bed. An ancient plot. After the demigods were slain, the black knives wielded by the assassins who committed the act, along with the impressions they made, somehow hide the truth of the conspiracy. These grand affairs are hardly my forte, but dear Roger began to weep as he spoke. In truth, I've heard tell from someone else about the Black Knife Prince that fascinate dear Roger so. But it wouldn't be right to give this to him, stuck as he is in the Round Table hold. Perhaps you could make use of it?
I guess that's only enough time to start up the engine. I tend to just keep the engine running. Uh-huh. think I can get up that way, so let's go back down to the south.
You're tarnished, aren't you? I welcome you to the Church of Vows. I am Miriam, steward of this sacred chamber. My apologies for the unseemly state of affairs. Do you know the origin of this place? How it came to be known as the Church of Vows? Well, that is a shame. But who can blame you? The shattering has caused us, all of us, to lose sight of something very dear. It is here, at the Church of Vows, that the great houses of the Erd Tree and the Moon were joined by the matrimonial bond between red-haired Radagon and Renala of the Full Moon. And so our church holds in view the monuments of both houses, the Erd Tree of the capital and the Academy of Rea Lucaria. Oh, was there something you needed? You are free to show yourself around. I would serve as your guide, only my legs aren't what they used to be. If you find anything of use, you are free to take it with you. Unless, perhaps, you are in search of instruction, in which case I will share all that I know. You wish to know more of Lord Radagon. Lord Radagon was a great champion, possessed of flowing red locks. He came to these lands at the head of a great golden host. When he met Lady Renala in battle, he soon repented his territorial aggressions there, and became husband to the Carian queen. However, when Godfrey, first Elden Lord, was hounded from the lands between, Radagon left Renala to return to the Erd Tree capital, becoming Queen Marika's second husband and king consort, taking the title of Second Elden Lord. The mystery endures to this day as to why Lord Radagon would cast Lady Renala aside, and moreover, why a mere champion would be chosen for the seat of Elden Lord. You wish to know more of Lady Renala. She is queen, head of the Carian royal family, and governor of the Academy of Rea Lucaria, the great and beautiful full moon witch. Sadly, her heart was broken when Lord Radagon left her. And then, when the Academy rebelled against the royals, she was locked away in the Grand Library.
Oh, I think I know where that is. I think that's right by Irith Chapel. Maybe not, huh? In any case, I should probably kill these things. Anyway. This might be such a time. No, I will replace that with that. That can stay the same. No, maybe. Is it the belfries? Or is it up on top of? Yeah. It might be there. In which case I can't get to it until a bit later. But let's just kill these guys to make sure. Because it felt like it should have been like right here, but no. That ain't it, dog. That ain't it. Okay, that's fine. I've acquired it though. Okay. Feel my way up to this annoying dungeon. Let's actually put most of the items into the chest. All right. But when I'm using this, let's just do this on horseback for now. Build bomb. You can't attract ladies to say hello to you. You don't deserve my hellos. Maidenless. Oh, maidenless. Okay, no, gotta remember to do that. It's pretty funny to fuck up their skeletons that hard that they just have to like waddle out of. Need to armor up. I need my pierce to be a lot stronger. That's what I should go for in terms of armor. But let's just go for armor in general. Go heavy. No, I should just roll in there. Or not. Oh, this place is so annoying with so little vigor. I can't really use my intelligence to kill these things effectively. Oh, it was annoying last time too. Do I just go in with more health flasks? I mean, I'm going to need them to fight the bosses, so... Ugh. It's working fine against the skeletons, but oh, how do I actually do I go for light load instead? No, it's not that one. Medium load rather, not a light load. His knees hurt me. God damn it. Okay, how best to handle these guys? Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Inspector Gadget. Oh, what? Okay, well, good note to self. When I'm using just the Lost Staff, it's a lot faster. Let's try that again. This time, I'm gonna just go with this staff. Hold it in both hands, and I'm just gonna run. And then, if I get... Okay, now, I use this. Ah, shoot. It's already shooting at me. Is it gonna take another shot? Okay. Can't have aggro on me beforehand. Fair enough. Well, then I probably should do it the way I was doing it, because that ensures that the necromancer comes out of his hole. Yeah. He, like, damage rolled me. That's gay. Okay. Ah! I got caught on that staff dick thing. Intelligence. Yeah, they're all boring. AI doesn't know what a sexy man is yet. It's truth. Can I pull them out? Will they come out? Beefcake them. Holy shit, no, you assholes. You fucking assholes. You assholes. You fucking assholes. There's fucking explosions. Oh, fuck, that's right. Oh. Can't even kill them that way. Have to kill this fucking asshole. And his fucking skeleton. Okay. That should cool their shit down a little. Oh, how did those arrows miss me? Oh my god. You fucking skeletons. You beefcakies. What the fuck? Okay, I'm just running past that, and then I'm gonna try to summon D this time. Come on, D. Ah, fuck. Come on, D, 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 D. Yeah, okay, let's go. Okay. Stay. It'll kill me next time. Oh, I dodged that. I just want him to be the one to take it, basically. Whoa. This guy's tough. Oh, good. Thanks, D. You rock. Too bad you'll probably die. Okay. For now, I'm just gonna leave. Come back later and get the other part of that quest done. That place done. Get the death root. Now.
Are you acquainted with a man named Roger? You know, the piteous fellow hiding away on the balcony. He was a formidable spellblade in times past. Don't let his easy air deceive you. He was wise beyond his years, stout of heart and clear of mind. No more, though. You see him now, ravaged by thorns, muttering and rambling, like he's half dead already. I can't stomach to watch. Take well the lesson, friend. That's how you end up when seduced by those who live in death. When grace is sullied, it rots people from the inside, breaks them.
Well then. May the golden... Further study of... I can happily... May the golden...
Okay, so I have all of his now. Just put those in the box, because I'm not going to use incantations for a long time, if ever. Do I have the tongue? No, I don't. So let's go get it. Oh, let's talk to him first.
Always good to see you, son.
This is a black knife print.
I can scarcely believe you managed to get your hands on this. You recall our conversation about the Night of the Black Knives, yes? They say the assassins who carried out the deed were scions of the Eternal City. A group entirely of women, arrayed in armor of silver under cloaks which fooled the eye. The knives they wielded, though, were imparted with the power of the Rune of Death through sinister rite.
Please, I beg of you, lend me the knife print for a time.
I'd love nothing more than to tease out its secrets.
Though only a fragment, a very specific ritual had to be performed to impart the power of the Rune of Death. Traces of the one who performed the rite are sure to remain in the imprint.
Half my body has been suffused with death. I'm certain it will help me see.
Okay. I can sell to Hugh. So I just need 400 more.
Now, those eyes of a challenge fine and well.
Ah, hello. I was hoping to see you. My examination is complete. Here's the knife print back, with my thanks. Now I have a fairly good idea who performed the rite upon the blade. The person who orchestrated the Night of the Black Knives.
Lunar Princess Rani. One of the children born to King Consort Radigan and his first wife, Ronala. Demigod and sister to General Radahn and Praetor Rykard. Hers was the name I discovered in the imprint. Truly, you have my thanks. But if I might be so bold, I would like to ask something more of you. If Rani truly is the one who plotted that fateful night, then she should bear the curse mark of destined death somewhere upon her flesh. I would like you to procure it for me. And then all will be laid bare. I will have the answers I have sought for so long. I have some idea. There's a manor to the north of it. Is the familial home. There's been talk of the Rani's whereabouts, but I suspect she might have returned to the manor in which she was born. I'm afraid there's something I must tell you. Do you know of those who live in death? The very notion of life in death defies the Golden Order. By Dee's account, these defiled fiends must be expunged. But truth be told, I seek the curse mark to save them. You may find this peculiar, but I discovered something in my examination of the Night of the Black Knives. These souls have committed no offense. They have every right to life, only they happen to touch upon a flaw in the Order. Yes, indeed. If Dee knew what drives me now, he would surely boil over with rage. Or perhaps he would even feel some pity. But no need to fret. None of that will come to pass. I can tell a good lie when I need to. If Lunar Princess Rani truly is the one who plotted that fateful night, then she should bear the curse mark of destined death somewhere upon her flesh. Would you be willing to procure? She may have returned to royal
There you are. You claimed a great rune and had your audience with the two fingers at the round table hole. What was your impression? Aha. Your intuition serves you well. My doubts had been piling up, you see. The words of the two fingers cannot be trusted. Truly, naught but rambling, senile delusions. I believe that when the Elden Ring was shattered, the two fingers were corrupted, their guidance skewed. Even worse, the fingers harbor no love for our kind. That's the part that irks the most. Oh, I have a gift for you. Something fit only for the wise. A means for circumventing the draw of the two fingers. Give it a try, won't you? And if it please you, may we meet again. I've high hopes for you, my lambkin.
Well, if you're going to join, then I will do something slightly more interesting than I was going to do. I will go steal from a dragon.
Hi, babe.
Hey. I mean, I can walk on just my feet, so this must only be like foot-high water, but why? Why is this lake like... I don't think this was a lake at one point. I think it got flooded, but I'm not really sure on the how of that. Alright, time to steal from this dragon. Hi, dragon. Be back later to kill you. Whoa, 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 whoa. I do have a Crystallian killing device. I could go. I mean, I know that there is a dungeon there, so let's get that down. Move that to there. I have all of my little pinpoints. Oh, I know what I'll do first. Before I do... Oh, wait, I thought I had the waystone there. Anyway, I'm going to go do a thing first before I do that. First, I'm going to go kill the first thing that you fight in this game that kills you instantly. And I'm going to kill it. I'm not actually that strong. It definitely can kill me. So I'm going to have to be good to not get killed by it. It's not like I'm overpowered in terms of, like, survivability. Like, it can absolutely destroy me. Maybe in 2 hits, but its attacks go like, attack, 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 attack. Like, I have to, like, yeah, you'll see. It's a crafted scion. Oh, hello, bye troll. This is a thing called the 4 belfries that have these little portals that lead to little pockets out in the distance. Is this the right one? I don't have the waypoint yet for here, so I should get that. I see birds. Birds mean it's hammer time. Cool. Okay, so loot this chest for an imbued sword key, which I use. Oh, someone else actually logged on. Hello, second person, whoever you are, leave a comment. Say hello to Autumn. Super company. Alright, use the imbued sword key here. That unlocks this, which lets me go to the Precipice of Anticipation. Which is another, I guess, Chapel of Anticipation. I think that's a trap, so I'm not gonna fall for it, literally. I don't think I'm gonna fight this thing with my mace, so let's use this. This will be good, because he uses a shield, so. Hello, old friend. Ooh, yeah. 2 hits. Oh, yep. 2 hits. Do I go for armor? Will armor even get me up to 3 hits is the question, and I don't think it will. Just got to get better. Don't really have anything to boost my damage that won't obliterate my armor, so let's just keep that as it is. Do I shift back to Comet? Probably. Comet is more effective in general. Do I wear pants? Nah. Fuck. Whoa, whoa, hello. Dude, fuck. Dodged it, you stupid asshole. Ah. Oh, I don't even know how I dodged that. Oh, I jumped right over it, you stupid piece of garbage. Okay, whew. Avenged. Alright. Let's see, I think there's a grace here. I think there is. Is there not? I don't know. Oh, and someone else went away. They never leave a comment. They never do anything. It's just, maybe it's bots checking in. Maybe it's older people that I used to talk to being like, oh, I don't know, Davey. Alright, well, got that completed, so that's good. That actually is this marker up here. Done. So, now that I've done that, let's spend my money on shrimp.
All right, mate. You're tarnished too, ain't you? Can you see it then? The guidance of grace, I mean. I can't see it at all no more. Makes no bloody sense anyway. Why some no-name shithead like me should get called to the lands between. Cruel bloody joke, you ask me. Maybe something went tits-o with it. Maybe it's been broke for a good long time. Do you hear Tree I'm saying?
Alright. Let's talk to Dialos. I don't think I have since he's come back. He's such a non-entity, I don't care about him at all.
Ah, you again, is it? The recusants sent a lackey. Can you believe they invited me to join them? Now, after what they did? I can scarcely believe it myself. Did they think me a fool? You might be surprised to learn I took them up on the offer. Then I only had to ask. The location of the recusant hideout. It's on Mount Gelmir, found off the old road that leads west from the town of Windmills. That's where they hide. The manor on the peak. Just you wait, wretched recusants. You'll rue the day you insulted my name by laying hands on Lanya. The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood, after all. It's on Mount Gelmir, found off the old road that leads west from the town of Windmills. That's where they hide. The manor on the peak. Just you wait, wretched recusants. The tale of House Hoslow is told in blood, after all. It's on Mount Gelmir. That's where they hide.
Yeah. Let's also get rid of this thing, because that's weighing down.
Oh, your divinity, have mercy and grant me forgiveness. The road is yet long, a god is not easily felled. But one day without fail you will have your wish. So please grant me forgiveness, Queen Marika. Huh. You, is it? I didn't notice you there. I'll be doing my job, same as ever. Just lay out your arms.
Okay, so now that I've done that, I should get the start of Rylakaria done. And that is best done by going actually to this place. Going into that gazebo. And ignoring the horrors that come up around you, and go into the portal. And they are horrors, by the way. That thing with the big legs is a nasty piece of work. Okay, so now I'm up here. I should flask differently for this, probably. I'll go with 3-7. That sounds good. This is a thing that says that this dead guy was going to go meet with that guy that got eaten by the dragon. And I got his key. Now, there is a merchant here that I'm not going to bother doing right now, but I do want to get the seed. Bringing me to 1 seed. Cool. Do this. Alright, let's go help out Yura with his assassination that he's trying to do on this thing. Ah, damn it. The problem is Yura sucks. Like, he got a perfect zonk on him with the... Let's just actually wait here a few moments just so that I can respawn up here. That would be nice, right? Okay.
Wretched one. Oh, it's you. Thanks for your help there. That bloody finger was a thorn in my side. And now I'm finally rid of him. Here's a token of thanks. Please, take it. I may not have much time. I'm dying to see you. Eleonora. Violet Bloodyfinger. Yes, I've been tracking Eleonora for quite some time. She is the deadliest of all Bloodyfingers. She's felled many an old hand already, but in spite of her cessblood zealotry, Eleonora is a proud knight. If she comes for you, do not think twice. You must flee. There is no shame in self-preservation. Be on your way. Perhaps we will meet again.
And that's why I send the elevator down. Okay, do I go in there with Moon Veil and just cut them to pieces? That might be the call. And Magic Defense. Yeah, that sounds better. That sounds like a better idea. Let's go for a medium load that focuses on magic protection. Okay. Okay, that's what we landed on. Does it drip? It's okay. It's not bad. Build's not about the drip, really. So go with that, and if I'm going to use the sword, I need to do that. And we'll go with that on the offhand, sword on the main hand. Okay. Let's do it again. My brain is just garbage. Ooh, boy. Alright. So run in. Grab my rings along the way. Ooh, Trina's Lily. Hello, Trina. Okay. I think I just go for the save point. Although I could transient moonlight, but that worked. That worked good. I'll take that any day of the week. All right. Do I have a regular slash? That slash pierce. It does magic damage. That's right. That's why she resists all that magic damage. That deals magic damage too. These don't. So maybe. Actually will be good for fighting her first phase at least. Strength of armaments. This one. Really? All very mid. All mid. suck, Hugh. Okay.
Greetings.
How about
Are
you?
here for
Way not enough money for those, but let's get that up. A bit more. Do I have? Yes, I do.
Greeting. Are you here for spirit?
Yep. Oh, holy crap! I'm like 5 short. Oh well. Luckily, I have Mega 5.
Greeting. Are you here for spirit?
Okay. That will help me when the time comes. Alright, so now back to Raya Lucaria. Church of the Cuckoo. Alright. Let's get the carrion armor. Carrion armor first. And I'm just gonna drop. More weed. Alright, now this time I don't get the carrion armor. So many arrows in me. Alright. Although now that I've taken all of those arrows, I shouldn't have any arrows in me now. Aha! Success! Maybe. I don't even know. Like I said, I have 3 arrows in me, so can I really say it's gone great? No! Shit! Rig out! Alright. Let's try that again, but with less failure. That guy's got some slutty experience I could have. Give it to me. Aha. Oop. It turned out it wasn't actually that much. And I probably would have been better off just running away. Okay. Good to know. Avoid the arrows by guile this time. Oh, nope. Oh, no. Nope. Get my stamina back. Now do this 1,000,000 times better. Success, kind of. Ooh. Okay, dog evacuated. Alright. Another gravity spell that I probably won't use. Ooh, smithing 3, that's good. 3s are always useful, at least for this part of the game. Into the academy proper. First things first, activate this. Second things second. Get my sneak on. Sneak immediately fails. That's fine when you're a badass like me. Oh, done in by Bun. Hello, Jarboy. I didn't forget about him, I just... Oh, yeah. Later. Oh yeah, that's one of them. Nope. Definitely need to redo this area and just run through. Because my potions are basically done. But if I'm going to do that, I might as well get a level. So let's go there and get a level. About 15,000, I think. $13,000. Meh. In that case, this should have went for 2, but that's fine. Whatever. Just run. Just trying to get to the boss. The best way to do that is just to avoid all of the conflict with all of my resources. Just that happened. I just have to do it again. Nope. YouTube as well while I do this. Alright. So close. Okay.
the answer might be electrolysis. And I don't really want to explain what electrolysis is because I'm trying to keep this video short, but it's basically using electricity to force a chemical reaction that normally wouldn't happen on its own. And water specifically, that causes water molecules to split H2, hydrogen gas, and O2.
Damn it.
Long story short, electrolysis is a source of energy, which potentially could be coming from the nodules themselves. They might be acting like batteries. When the researchers measured the electrical potentials of different nodules they collected, they found some that were as high as 0.95 volts, which is apparently almost as high as a AA battery and may be enough to split water. Maybe. It depends on a bunch of things, including the composition of the nodules themselves.
Hello.
A nodule that contains certain kinds of metals might only need 0.95 volts of electricity to do electrolysis, but a nodule that contains certain kinds of other metals might need more energy, or less. They don't really know yet. The researchers need to do more investigation. Also, the amount of surface area exposed on a nodule will affect the amount of O2 that gets released. Now on the graph, there's a steady increase in COP, and then it levels off. The researchers think because the lander that they used to set up the chamber might have blown a bunch of septic off the nodule, and therefore increased the amount of surface area that was in contact with the water, which could have resulted in a bunch of electrolysis happening, not oxygen, causing the initial and then it levels off as the nodules, for lack of a better phrase, get heated up. This is an oversimplification, but you know, basically it's similar to how a battery gets heated up when you do a bunch of electrical things. If the nodules are in fact acting like batteries, not splitting water into electrolysis, this is just a hypothesis, they don't know for sure. These researchers just discovered BOP at the bottom of the ocean. They're not going to have all the answers to all the questions, especially with the more detailed oxygen production in the first place. So the first question I was thinking to myself, discovery path for like how Earth became oxygenated, because for a good chunk of this planet's existence, there wasn't a ton of O2 around, and it wasn't until it showed up that we started to see evidence of multicellular life here on Earth. I think the reason we're here, breathing what we're breathing right now, and then I was like, wait, yo, could nodules like these on other planets maybe help create the conditions of life? And then I was like, wait, nodules and the hydrothermal vents are actually truly dependent on the sun? If you're confused about that last one, go watch my video about the hydrothermal vents. But then I found out that these nodules only form in highly oxygenated water, so they're not the reason we have so much O2 on this planet, which is a bit of a bummer, but that doesn't mean that these nodules aren't currently extremely important. I know when you look at a picture like this, it seems like we're just looking at a bunch of dirt and rocks, but this is actually an ecosystem. Animals live here, many of which we've never seen before and are completely new to science. And they're all under threat because of deep-sea mining. There are companies that want to harvest the nodules so they can turn them into actual batteries that we can use in electric cars and stuff, but we only have a vague idea of what sort of role these nodules play in this ecosystem, and we should probably figure that out before we start ganking them and doing what is most likely irreparable harm to these creatures in their homes. I could make a whole separate video about deep sea mining, but honestly, that's probably never going to happen because the whole topic just makes me really sad, and I don't think I have the mental fortitude to let it be the focus of my attention for the several weeks it takes me to about deep sea mining that came out
God damn it.
exploration in general, and I highly recommend the video The Ringing of the Titanic, which is a fascinating video about the disastrous 1996 attempt to raise a piece of the Titanic to the surface, which is available on my streaming service Nebula right now. Nebula is a prestige streaming platform that hosts some of your favorite content creators like Chuck Newman, Tizu, and me. It's a place where we can make thoughtful, high-quality videos, and you don't have to worry about things like clickbait or ads.
this
paying
month,
$300
but not
once,
this,
and
not
then you have
today.
access to Nebula
Well,
forever,
maybe today, not
regardless
right
of which way
now.
you...
It's only $6 a month, so I probably would use it a lot. Is kink talk bad for you? Probably. Murder is bad. I agree. Did I get the seed? I don't even know. Drop on it. There we go. Vengeance.
Several U.S. state governments are about to murder American citizens using taxpayer money. And, you know, I don't mean murder directly in the way that they usually do, like with abortion bans, lax gun laws, or crappy public health policies. I'm talking about murder in about as direct way as possible to murder a person by knowingly and intentionally injecting them with poison. That's right, we're talking about the death penalty today, a fun topic that everybody loves discussing. As you may already guess, I am vehemently opposed to the death penalty for pretty much every reason it's possible to oppose it. For instance, I think it is immoral to murder someone who's not an immediate threat to their own life, regardless of what that person has done in the past. But I found that morality is rarely an argument that will actually persuade anyone of anything, whether that's eating meat or providing universal health care or state-sanctioned murder in this case. Luckily, there are several other reasons I oppose the death penalty that might be more persuasive. For instance, if I'm talking to a libertarian, I might point out that contrary to popular belief, the death penalty costs the taxpayer more money than its sentence of life in prison. One analysis in 2016 found that each death penalty inmate is approximately $1.12 million in 2015 dollars more than a general population inmate. And those costs are botched executions and the cost that requires chemicals from companies unwilling to manufacture a product specifically to kill someone. That's right, apparently there are some companies that are run by people who aren't sociopaths. Let's study this one day. I might also point out that contrary to popular no evidence that the death penalty reduces crime in any way. One study reviewed the existing data on executions of both Canada and the United States and compared the number of homicides in places where executions were legal with places where it isn't. They found that the relative rarity of executions made it impossible to detect any real effect on homicides, concluding that there's not just reasonable doubt about whether there is any deterrent effect of the death penalty, but profound uncertainty. Not only that, but thanks to the aforementioned higher cost of the death penalty, it may actually lead to an increase in crime. This study from 2019 found that in Texas, executions are funded at the county level, leading to those governments raising money to pay for these executions by increasing property tax and decreasing public safety measures, which leads directly to an increase in property crime in those counties. The irony, while I do think that all of those arguments against the death penalty are very persuasive, the most convincing is this. The American justice system is heavily flawed, and it is a statistical inevitability that we will purposely and knowingly execute a person who has not committed any crime at all. In 2014, researchers conducted a statistical analysis that found that if all death sentence defendants remained under sentence of death indefinitely, at least 4.1% would be exonerated. We conclude that this is a conservative estimate of the proportion of false conviction among death sentences in the United States. While often it's hard to definitively prove that an executed person was actually innocent, there have been several cases where we know well beyond doubt. For instance, Johnny Frank Garrett was executed in Texas in 1992 for supposedly murder of 19 years old. On a report from a local psychic. Yes, but DNA evidence tested 20 awful, abusive. Babysitters and caregivers prosecuted for shaken baby syndrome. But the fact of the matter is that there is absolutely no scientific evidence for it being real. Starting in the 1970s, doctors started coming up with this idea of shaken baby syndrome as the best way they could think of to explain the deaths of children who showed no outward signs of abuse and yet who suffered retinal bleeding, bleeding in the protective layer of the brain, and brain swelling. But in the decades since then, a large body of research has been published showing that it's much more likely these deaths were caused by an earlier injury like a fall that seemed mild because the kid in question seemed fine immediately afterwards, a so-called lucid interval that can last for several days. As Professor Deborah Turkheimer, then of DePaul University College of Law, wrote in her extensive review of the literature in 2009, a number of medical disorders documented in medical peer-reviewed literature including head trauma, including congenital malformations, metabolic disorders, hematological diseases, and autoimmune conditions. In some, depending upon the clinical picture presented, the differential diagnosis for symptoms previously associated exclusively with shaken baby syndrome now contemplates a wide range of non-traumatic possibilities: medical or surgical interventions, prenatal, perinatal, and pregnancy-related conditions, birth effects, infections, diseases, disorders, malformations, post-vaccine conditions, brain bleeding, and lack of oxygen to the brain. In Robert Robertson's case, his 6-year-old daughter had actually been violently ill the week prior to her death, prompting her father to take her to the doctor twice. Both times she was prescribed Phenergan, a drug that the FDA now mandates carry a black box warning to not prescribe to children aged 2 and under. It also prescribed her codeine, which, also is no longer recommended for toddlers due to its ability to restrict breathing and kill. 2 nights after that final doctor's visit, Robertson woke up in the morning to find his daughter blue and not breathing. The toxicology report found low levels of Phenergan in her system. Despite this, the doctor at the hospital saw that she had 2 of the 3 signs of shaken baby syndrome and gave her that diagnosis, which made its way all the way through the court system without anyone pointing out that shaken baby syndrome doesn't actually exist. Oh, also the defense stressed on Robertson's apparent lack of emotional reaction to the death of his child. Robertson is autistic. This is just the junk science of 911 call analysis in a slightly different form. You didn't react the way I would react, so you must be guilty. All of this suggests to me not just reasonable doubt. Like, remember when I discussed the evidence for and against Lucy Letby, and I landed on not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Robertson is innocent. He did not abuse or murder his daughter. There is some good news, though. While it's too late for people like Josh Frank Garrett, it is not too late for Robert Robertson, at least as of the time I'm recording this. In 1 month, the state of Texas will execute him based upon a pseudoscientific lie. The Innocence Project is trying to prevent this travesty from happening, and you can head to their website and sign your petition. All your good friends nominate nothing but and exonerate this innocent man already. I like what you have so plainly obvious about this. But I would end by also suggesting a clear woman
His DNA was not found on the scene. Someone else's DNA was found on the scene. Police mishandled evidence. The people who said he did it made off with thousands of dollars in reward money. At least one juror was removed from the trial because they were black, and he didn't even talk. And when there's overwhelming evidence his trial was unfair. The former governor of Missouri agreed with that, staying in the execution and using the panel to go over the evidence. However, before they could finish, a new governor got into office and ended up disbanding the panel before they were able to render a verdict. And he rescheduled the execution because he was bloodthirsty. I'm sorry, I need a Republican. Is Williams innocent? I don't know. But I do know that he shouldn't be executed by the state of Missouri for any one of the many reasons I've listed. It costs the taxpayers more money. It does not stop people from murdering each other. It may increase crime. He may be not guilty. And yeah, it's immoral to kill people. There, I said it. To annoy the shit out of your garbage governor to the point that it becomes less stressful for him to simply decide to not kill a man. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe. And if you think the world like this, we have a few bucks playing around. Patreon.com/Rebecca and join an awesome community of nerds like the people whose names you see on the screen right now. Thanks.
The best place for creators to make money in the creator economy is YouTube.
You don't need a deep following.
Unless he's elected president again because he can just order
Last week, Donald Trump's lawyer Daniel Epstein announced on Fox Business that the former president is suing the Department of Justice over the Mar-a-Lago raid. Epstein says that Trump intends to sue and has told the government about his plan. But then again, we're talking about a guy who promised to repeal and replace Obamacare as soon as he got into office, who said he was going to build a wall and Mexico would pay for it, and that infrastructure was always and forever 2 weeks around the corner. Okay, that last one was true, although not quite in the way he meant it. Anyway, the fact that Donald Trump says he's going to sue someone doesn't mean he's actually going to do it. And there are a whole lot of reasons that he might not file this case, but if he wins in November, well, that's another story. The reason that Trump is announcing his plans to sue rather than not having government is that of the very monarch Americans were trying to get away from when they found the In essence, the king is not subject to the law, which exists criminally prosecuted. Donald Trump is quite familiar with this doctrine since he just managed to convince 6 Supreme Court justices that he's functionally above the law in the immunity. But when you're not playing Calvin ball, sovereign immunity means that you can't sue the government for torts except in limited circumstances when it begins provision. Enter the Federal Tort Claims Act, aka FTCA, which specifies the circumstances under which the government will waive immunity and let you sue it. But before you march into court, you have to give the government notice. Under 28 U.S. Code Section 2675, an action shall not be instituted upon a claim against the United States unless the claimant shall have first presented the claim to the appropriate federal agency, and his claim shall have been finally denied by the agency. So, you have to tell Uncle Sam that you plan to sue him, and you have to give him 2 weeks to decide. And then Uncle Sam, or whichever federal agency has 6 months to defend or deny your claim. And if for just 4 years, the claim is what they call deemed denied. And then, go ahead and file your lawsuit. There's a 2-year statute of limitations on these claims, and since the raid on Mar-a-Lago took place on August 24th,
I never imagined that
was ticking, which is why
Are you certain you're willing to give my arm? Thank you. Now I can go to resume my...
The Department of Justice has until approximately February 10th, 2025 to say whether it will fork over the
Back to learning the line, of course.
claims to be owed. Although, of course, Attorney General Merrick Garland could call his bluff and tell Trump to take a hike tomorrow. Daniel Epstein, Trump's lawyer for this very real lawsuit against the Department of Justice, served as a special assistant in the Trump White House. Trump tried to nominate him to the federal bench in 2019 and also to chair a government advisory board in 2020. The Senate ignored both nominations, and Epstein went on to serve as vice president of America First Legal, the conservative law firm founded by Trump's chief xenophobia czar, Stephen Miller. Miller is the one who came up with the idea to separate immigrant children from their parents, with no plan to ensure how they'd ever get reunited. Since they left the White House, Miller and Epstein set up America First Legal to represent Americans who have been victimized by world politics under the Orwellian guise of diversity, equity, and inclusion. We don't know if Trump wants to sue the government for excessive woke, since Counselor Epstein has not seen fit to publicly release the memo he sent to the Department of Justice explaining why the fine of $100 million. All we have to go on is quotes from journalists who've been given an embargoed copy of the document. But according to media reports, Trump wants to sue the government for illegally executing the search warrant at his Florida social club Mar-a-Lago in August of 2022. Remember, this is the warrant which Magistrate Judge Bruce Reinhardt signed after the FBI presented him with probable cause that they would find evidence of 3 very specific crimes: willful retention of national defense information, concealment or removal of government records, and obstruction of a federal investigation, which they did. The raid turned up over 100 classified documents, despite the fact that Trump's lawyer had signed an attestation saying that the property had been searched and there were no more documents with classified markings on the premises. Similarly, Trump claims that the stolen documents indictment is also illegal, despite the fact that it was sworn by a grand jury after the Justice Department presented evidence that he had retained those documents and refused to give them back in response to a subpoena. Epstein explained to Fox Business that the entire investigation was nothing more than an effort to stop Trump from becoming president again.
We have a word for that gets thrown around a lot, but in this case is very accurate and precise: election interference. And that's what President Trump believes the entire special counsel investigation was about: interfering with his ability to get elected.
And that's all the airtime Epstein got for his big media hit, probably because he's not the most convincing messenger on earth if you're trying to persuade the audience that this is a real lawsuit and not a performative stunt. Trump wants to sue the government for tortious acts against the president that are rooted in intrusion upon seclusion, malicious prosecution, and abusive process resulting from the August 8, 2022 raid of his and his family's home at Mar-a-Lago in Palm Beach, Florida. Intrusion upon seclusion is a Florida state tort that involves physical or electronic intrusion into someone's private space in a way that would be highly offensive to a reasonable person, like, say, setting up a hidden camera that records in your neighbor's bedroom. Oh my God. What? Game changer. Archie got hot. He's got abs now. He's most definitely not applicable with respect to a federal warrant. And malicious prosecution and abusive process are federal claims which are almost impossible to prove. Trump would have to demonstrate gross misconduct by the FBI and the special counsel, not just point to the Supreme Court's immunity ruling and the dismissal by Judge Cannon and claim that, ipso facto, the prosecution was illegal. And yet, that's exactly what Epstein does. He writes, given the Supreme Court's immunity decision and Judge Cannon's dismissal of the prosecution on grounds that the special counsel violated the Appointments Clause and his office was funded through an improper appropriation, there was no constitutional basis for the search or the subsequent indictment. That's a reference to Judge Eileen Cannon's ruling that the special counsel's funding structure is illegal, and thus everything he did doesn't count. To be clear, we have had special counsels in various forms in this country for decades. Judge Cannon is the only judge to have ever ruled that a special counsel's appointment is invalid. The dismissal order is on appeal to the 11th Circuit, which already slapped down Judge Cannon once in this case, and not for nothing, but the Supreme Court's immunity decision protects acts undertaken when Trump was president. He documents cases about the foreign national defense information to scour from the office and then refuse to respond to that's the least of the issues with this claim. Let's start with problem number 1, the Justice Manual. Epstein told Fox Business that Garland and Ray should have never approved a raid and subsequent indictment of President Trump because the well-established protocol with former U.S. presidents is to use non-enforcement to obtain records of the United States. But notwithstanding the fact that the raid should never have occurred, Garland and Ray should have ensured their agents sought consent from President Trump, notified his lawyers, and sought cooperation. The National Archives tried for a full year to persuade Trump to simply give back the government property he swept on the way out of the White House. And then, when that didn't work, the Justice Department went to the grand jury and got a subpoena, which Trump ignored. There is no protocol for the Justice Department to deal with former presidents who ignore non-enforcement methods because no other former president has pocketed hundreds of government documents and refused to give them back. But Epstein didn't invent this protocol argument.
Now, obviously, if you're going to sue the DOJ for investigating your crime, you need a terrible lawyer. But if you want a great lawyer, my law firm, if you've gotten in a car or trucking accident, data breach, especially done with those data breach letters saying your social security number was leaked, or dealing with a workers' compensation, we can represent you or help find you the right lawyer. So just click on the link in the description or call the phone number on screen for a free
I didn't know that you could cast that spell that way.
improper about executing a subpoena on a former president. The House Judiciary Committee, led by Representative Jim Jordan, deposed Stephen D'Antuono, the former assistant director at the FBI's Washington field office. D'Antuono said that he would have preferred to seek Trump's permission to search his property rather than executing a non-consensual warrant. Jordan even sent a nasty letter to Attorney General Merrick Garland before the indictment dropped, affecting to have grave concerns that your reported actions are nothing more than a politically motivated prosecution. This putative concern was based on D'Antuono's testimony back in June of 2023, when he said that it would have been better to try to get Trump to agree to a search of the premises. He said consent would be good. It would be the best thing for all parties, for the FBI, for President Trump, and for the country. The best case scenario would have been consent. But D'Antuono was clear that even though he disagreed with it, nothing about the raid on Mar-a-Lago was against policy or against the law. He also called the search warrant completely lawful and insisted that we had probable cause to order the search warrant, right? We really did. Instead, start small with Thrive, which can lead to something big. Start stopping with Thrive. In hours of testimony, Jordan was never able to persuade D'Antuono to say that the search violated protocol, much less any statute. But even if the search warrant had violated Justice Department policy, that could never give rise to a private right of action because, in plain English, you can't sue the DOJ for violating its own internal guidelines. In fact, the Justice Department lays out all its agency protocols in a comprehensive document. The Justice Manual provides internal DOJ guidance. It is not intended to, does not, and may not be relied upon to create any rights, substantive or procedural, enforceable at law by any party in any manner, civil or criminal. So when Epstein says, "There's evidence that the FBI follow protocols, and the failure to follow protocols shows that there was an improper purpose," he's just wrong as a matter of law. But even if he was right, it wouldn't give rise to a private cause of action, which brings us to problem number 2, the Federal Tort Claims Act. So remember when we said that the government has sovereign immunity? Well, here's what you can do. Number 1, personal injury is death caused by a federal employee. While acting for office or employment. Essentially, Congress passed the FTCA so that if the mailman sideswipes your car, you can sue for your injuries and get that rear quarter panel replaced. Now here's some stuff you cannot do. Assault, battery, false imprisonment, false arrest, malicious prosecution, abuse of process, libel, slander, misrepresentation, etc. So this suit for malicious prosecution and abuse of process is explicitly barred under the Federal Tort Claims Act. And that's why the form Epstein filled out for Trump refers to the day and date of the accident and the nature and extent of damage or the injury and cause of death. Because the FTCA explicitly does not cover the kind of claim Trump is making here. And while we're on the subject of actual laws, Epstein claims that the malicious prosecution and abuse of process caused President Trump to incur, upon information and belief, $15 million in actual harm due to legal costs. Those are what you call compensatory damages. That is, they compensate you for money you're out of pocket because of the injurious conduct. In reality, Trump doesn't pay his own legal bills. The money for his legal defense comes from donors to his political action committee, who shelled out $59 million last year alone for legal expenses for Trump and his friends. So even if this were a real lawsuit, Trump probably couldn't recover that money anyway, because he wasn't the one who paid it. But wait, there's more. Because Trump's goofball lawyer says that he's going to demand $100 million in punitive damages. That's money not just to make him whole for the tortious injury, but to punish the defendant and make sure he never does it again. And that is just not a thing under the FTCA. 28 U.S. Code Section 271 says private entities shall be liable in the same manner and to the same extent as a private entity under like circumstances, but shall not be liable for interest prior to judgment or for punitive damages. To file a lawsuit, you have to go through discovery. You have to turn over your communication for deposition. You have to let your employees sit for deposition. You have to call witnesses. You have to make your case in court. All of which is exactly what Donald Trump has been trying to avoid for years now. He went all the way to the Supreme Court to ensure that no one could ever question him in court about what he did in the White House. He sued the Justice Department to challenge the search warrant in a failed effort to claw back all that evidence against him, and he dispatched a whole bunch of surrogates to claim that he declassified all those documents with the power of his mind and secretly turned them into personal records. And thanks to the Supreme Court's immunity decision in the election interference case, if the stolen documents case ever does go to trial, Trump could probably block testimony by his aides about his handling of classified documents in the White House and how those boxes of national defense secrets wound up in his pool shed. But he's not going to be able to claim that as defense if he himself sues the government and demands $100 million. So if Trump is actually stupid enough to bring this case, he'll have to answer all those questions he's been ducking for 3 straight years, which is a long way of saying this case will never, not ever, wind up in front of a jury. So what's the purpose of this exercise? Well, Donald Trump doesn't always have the best judgment when it comes to filing lawsuits. This is the guy who sued Hillary Clinton, James Comey, and Catherine DC for bringing RICO to him in the Russia investigation. Trump and his lawyer Alina Habba got sanctioned in that one to $200 million. That appeal is still pending, but in his sanctions order, Judge Donald Newberg cited a continuing pattern of misuse of the courts by Mr. Trump and his lawyers, which undermines state law, portrays judges as partisan, and diverts resources from those who have suffered actual legal harm. He also accused Trump for his habit of filing garbage lawsuits and then turning around and using them as fundraising activities. So it would not be out of character for Trump to file a deep lawsuit and then use the fundraise off it only to quietly drop it later. He did that when he sued Michael Cohen in 2023, pulling the plug on the eve of his scheduled deposition. The most likely plan here is for Trump to enjoy the fun news cycle, which got Daniel Epstein some airtime, and allowed Team Trump to pretend to be standing up to the Biden DOJ. And then, if Trump loses in November, never hear anything about this missing document again. But if he wins, then Trump can file his claim and simply order the Justice Department to pay it. He can tell whatever obsequious crony replaces Attorney General Garland to cut him a check for $100 million. And it won't matter that it's wildly illegal. Because thanks to the Supreme Court, a president enjoys absolute immunity for official acts. He could make the number $200 million or $1 billion, and there would be nothing anyone could do about it, which would be a convenient thing for a guy who may suddenly find himself short of cash.
If you're worried about this outright potential kleptocracy and grift, the solution is to make sure that everyone votes, which you can do with today's sponsor, Tab for Democracy, without even needing to get up from your couch. Tab for Democracy is a team effort between Vote America and Tab for a Cause to harness your internet surfing for a good cause. It's easy to use and you can download it in less than 30 seconds. Here's how it works. Every time you open a new tab, there will be a few ads in the corner of your new tab. These ads generate revenue that funds Vote America. And the best part? It's completely free.
My own tech.
Hush,
Please don't
little
use the
Calva.
possibility for my business. I can cut things in about a fifth of the time that I used to.
Good morning, John.
I'll soon birth thee anew, a sweeting, fresh, and pure.
And I am fascinated by content platforms and their cultures. I decided to push pretty hard into this thing that was, even before the pandemic, growing very fast. And part of me is very glad that I did. Another part of me is that I understand that my that our eyeballs are the most expensive thing. And that is my new favorite way of saying things I've been saying for it is upsettingly true. That attention is the stuff a life is made out of, and we only use so much of it as fear magazine. We use it to right now, whatever automatic systems take over when we are not exercising influence, as we walk around or drive or bring us so much time grading roads. I think this might be the big problem. We don't have enough road grading science. I want to be clear, there are lots of things that are really exciting about TikTok. Not like science, but actually that I enjoy it for very has created many beautiful moments, and I didn't just passively enjoy them, I was a part of them. I was fascinated and inspired by it, and it changed my life. But it's not just good. Like, people are currently pretty worried about AI someday taking over the world like that. It's already just happened. So much of the content directed to us by maybe more importantly, it influences what kinds of content gets created in the first place by media and creators. Algorithms and media and creators work together to keep us on websites no matter the cost. And the cost doesn't seem to be insignificant. It seems like our
My beloved, have no fear. I will hold thee. Patience. Ye will be countless born forever and ever.
Aside from the first mover advantage, was just that it's a bit cooler. Like, it's in a cooler place, and nobody can say why something is cool, but TikTok was cool. However, kind of the opposite of
Upon my name is Rani the Witch.
more obviously powerful, and success there became undesirable.
Mother's rich lumber shall not be disturbed by thee.
And that's the problem for, like, the coolness of the platform. But it also
Foul
can kick off a bit of a doom loop with regards to the kind of content that succeeds
Send word
if no one steps in to
far
try and
and
control
wide.
it. As you said on Tuesday, John, algorithms are in the business of working with our biology to control us. But creators like us are in the business of working with algorithms to
For the
do
last
that
queen
well.
of Caria,
As TikTok began to matter,
Renala of the full
TikTokers
moon,
fought harder in a kind of arms race to capture attention. But there wasn't really a way to do that by increasing the
and the
quality
majesty of the night she
there isn't enough
conjureth.
money to be made to pay to increase the quality, and so you have to do that in other ways, and some of those ways are great, but a lot of the best tools to get attention in a space of extremely high competition for eyeballs are bad. They are fear, controversy, outrage, drama, feelings of superiority, and the platform doesn't care or have the capacity to care when that's happening. On that platform, areas of it, dark stuff. Now, this is not actually what my prepaid looks like, but it is what a lot of different things look like. I have all the examples right different stuff. I'll tell you, there are a lot of people who want to seriously anti-social, anti-democratic.
Come, O sworn giant.
Bring my talent and skills to the table. I also bring my credibility and my audience. And that's scary. That's like a freaking scary responsibility, because I do not know who I am giving power to when I create on a platform. Like on YouTube, I know some of those people, which makes me feel a little bit better. But that's just who's there now. What about in the future, when it's different people like the talent? TikTok, though, I think has structural reasons why it is worth it being able to handle its power, particularly the short-form video, much harder to monetize per minute of upload, and maybe more content to moderate, and less money to spend doing that moderation.
Thy fate lieth under my moon.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough.
You don't actually have to tweak an algorithm to increase the amount of fear and outrage and division experienced by people on a content platform. All you have to do is just kind of let that happen. Obviously, I do not regret the experiences I have had on TikTok. I regret a little bit that it makes me substantially more famous, but there's also benefits to that. What I definitely regret is having helped to put power into a place that I have no control over and that I do not understand, and that I do not think has been a net positive for society. I didn't go into TikTok thinking strategically or worried about its impact on the world. I went in curious and hungry and excited and amazed. And though I was obviously manipulated by its systems to some extent, it really did deliver content delivered value for others for a long time. But this world, right now, is messy and it's moving fast, and I wish I was more careful. There is very little that I enjoy more than diving into a new subculture and coming to understand it. Riding cultural waves is my extreme sport, my chosen vocation, and my greatest area of expertise. But if I'm an expert in the experience, I also have to admit that I'm an expert in the outcome, and I am not a fan of the outcomes. At the same time, I find it impossible to imagine a content platform as a monolith. Algorithms do not decide what people watch alone. People participate in that decision, both by deciding what content gets created and by choosing which content they spend time with. And I often, though not all the time, feel like the parts of TikTok that I spend time in and create for are good. So it's confusing. If only there was a model that would make it make more sense. For example, these things always make more sense to me if I imagine content platforms to be what they actually are. Places where we live. And a town can have bad neighborhoods and good neighborhoods, and they can and should do things to make the bad neighborhoods better. And if those towns become less livable, then people will leave them. But I do worry that if a content platform gives people more small towns. Are you guys ready for the most favorable statement ever heard by a median voter? Not actually do anything about it. You're just sitting there just thinking what you're doing. I've got to right now down to the big back. I know you're thinking I'm busy, I don't want to do it, it's going to be difficult, I get so many people playing with it, but they make a point of it. Feeling sick, so I come on, they go now, and then it turns out, you know, maybe
Go with clean energy, that'll help feed people. People can eat clean energy.
Energy is a big deal, and we're going to get that. It's my ambition to get your energy bill within 12 months down 50%. If I can do that, we've done a hell of a job. 5-0, not 15, 50. Interest rates
but that's not really what your energy bill comes from necessarily. Like that, fracking isn't going to solve the issue with your energy bill. That's like the proportion of where your energy bill comes from very massively. They already like an ungodly amount of natural gas or the energy production that energy companies are currently dredging up and selling. Like, if your energy bill is lower, that means the coal or natural gas or whatever energy source that is used to power your house is less expensive, less profit.
Swarm giant.
America have an energy surplus as well, but yes. I mean, in the sense that we produce enough to cover our needs, and the reason why we trade energy with other countries to either export it, or because there are marginal economic benefits to trading around the resources. You know, I'm not going to pretend that
Damn it. It only lasts for like 2 seconds.
How do you trade energy with other countries?
Alright.
I mean, you trade the things that get turned into energy, like natural gas and oil and stuff.